No one in the mansion could stay longer than a week. Some left in tears, others in anger, and a few simply walked out without a word. The billionaire's daughter had broken them all. Yet on a quiet morning before sunrise, a single-dad janitor pushed his cleaning cart down the marble hallway, unaware that his patience, faith, and broken past were about to change a life everyone else had given up on. Before we go deeper into the story, take a moment to like this video, comment, share it, and subscribe to the channel if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of people the world overlooks. Your support keeps stories like this alive. Ethan Miller had once dreamed of more. In his early 20s, he imagined a stable job, a warm home, and a future built on faith and hard work. Life, however, had taken a different path. His wife passed away suddenly, leaving him alone with a young son and a mountain of grief he barely knew how to carry. Bills piled up, opportunities slipped away, and eventually Ethan took the only job he could find that allowed flexible hours so he could care for his child. He became a janitor at one of the largest private estates in Connecticut, owned by billionaire tech investor Richard Caldwell. The Caldwell mansion was a world Ethan never felt part of. Crystal chandeliers reflected polished floors, and silence carried more weight than noise. Staff members worked efficiently but without warmth, always careful, always tense. The reason was 12-year-old Grace Caldwell, the billionaire's daughter. After her mother died in a tragic accident, Grace changed completely. She stopped speaking to most people, refused tutors, destroyed rooms in fits of anger, and drove away nannies, teachers, and therapists one by one. Her pain had hardened into something sharp, and no amount of money could soften it. Richard Caldwell tried everything. Experts flew in from across the country. Schools bent rules. Nothing worked. His daughter's grief turned into isolation, and the mansion felt more like a battlefield than a home. Staff were warned to keep distance from Grace at all costs. Most obeyed. Ethan noticed her in fragments. A slammed door echoing through hallways. Broken picture frames discarded near trash bins. Silent tears reflected in mirrors when she thought no one was watching. He never approached her. He had learned long ago that pain needed space. Still, something about her reminded him of his son. On the nights grief felt too heavy to explain. Every evening, after finishing his shift, Ethan returned to his small apartment where his son Noah waited with homework and questions about the world. Ethan answered patiently, never raising his voice, always listening. Faith had taught him that presence mattered more than solutions. He carried that belief quietly into every part of his life. One stormy afternoon, everything shifted. A power outage swept to the mansion, plunging entire wings into darkness. Staff scrambled. Grace, caught alone in a hallway, panicked. Her screams echoed, raw and uncontrolled, filled with fear that went deeper than the dark. Most staff froze, unsure how to respond, afraid of making things worse. Ethan heard her. Without thinking, he moved toward the sound, carrying only a flashlight and the calm he had practiced for years. He didn't rush. He didn't shout. He simply approached with steadiness, letting his presence be known without forcing it. Grace noticed him, shaking, eyes wide, expecting anger or commands like always. Instead, she found quiet. In the days that followed, something unexpected happened. Grace stopped avoiding the hallway where Ethan worked. She lingered nearby, watching him clean, fix small things, hum softly as he worked. He never pushed conversation. He never reported her behavior. He treated her like a person, not a problem. Slowly, trust formed in the silence. Grace began leaving drawings near trash bins, sketches filled with storm clouds, broken houses, and small figures standing alone. Ethan noticed and carefully placed them aside instead of throwing them away. One evening, he added a clean folder beside them, wordlessly protecting what mattered to her. That simple act broke something open inside her. Her outbursts became less violent. Doors slammed less often. Tutors noticed she listened longer, even if she still refused to speak. Richard Caldwell watched security footage in disbelief as reports came in. The janitor was succeeding where professionals had failed. Ethan never asked for recognition. He continued his job, guided by patience shaped through loss. When Grace finally spoke again weeks later, it wasn't her father or teachers. It was during one quiet afternoon when Ethan fixed a broken chair near the garden. Her words were soft, hesitant, and full of fear, but they were real. From that moment, progress followed slowly but steadily. Grace began eating meals at the table again. She allowed therapy sessions to continue longer. She laughed once, unexpectedly, during a simple moment watching birds through the window. Richard saw his daughter returning, piece by piece, and tears followed him into rooms where no one could see. Eventually, Richard asked to meet Ethan privately. The billionaire expected confidence, maybe pride. Instead, he met a humble man who spoke about faith, patience, and understanding pain instead of fixing it. Ethan shared his own story only when asked, never dramatizing his loss, only explaining how listening had saved his son from drowning in grief. Richard realized then that wealth had built walls, not healing. The janitor had brought something money never could. Ethan was offered promotions, titles, opportunities far beyond cleaning floors. He accepted only what allowed him to remain present for his son and continue supporting Grace in a way that felt natural. Grace, once unreachable, now smiled when she saw him. She began calling him family long before paperwork ever changed. The mansion no longer felt cold. Laughter returned to hallways. Light filled rooms once locked in darkness. And Ethan remained the same, grounded, faithful, quietly strong. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that compassion can come from the most unexpected places, please like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps spread stories that heal hearts. Before the ending, we ask you to leave a comment below about someone who showed patience to you during your hardest time. Your words might reach someone who feels alone right now, because sometimes the impossible doesn't come from power or money, but from a quiet heart willing to stay when everyone else walks away.